Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us on the ASEA VIA training webinar. I am joined by the Global Vice President of Marketing, Becky Cox. We are so excited to be sharing information with you about the ASEA VIA line as introduced at our global convention. We have 3 products to talk to you about tonight: VIA Source, VIA Biome, and VIA Life Max. Becky, thank you so much for being with us. We're so excited for you to share information about what these products can do for each and every one of us. The time is yours.
It's my pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me, Karen. I'm excited to talk about these products. I was excited at convention, even more excited after the gracious welcome and reception that we got at convention from our associates, who also seemed excited. So I think everybody's just looking forward to, first of all, the benefits that they themselves are going to have from taking these products, and then also from their ability to share them with others and to help them also kind of attain the benefits that are available from these products. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. A lot of material to cover, and I just want to get as much as possible in so that you can get your questions answered. Before I start, though, I just want to let everybody know that these exact slides have been sent to our web team, and they will be posted sometime in the next 24 hours to the virtual office under presentations. So don't worry about trying to get screenshots or anything like that. We'll have all of this available for you. This is the US version, so this will be posted in the US virtual office, but as quickly as we can, we'll have these reviewed for regulatory, translated and rolled out into the other markets. So hopefully that takes a little bit of stress off people's minds as they're listening to this presentation. So let's go ahead and get started. So I want to start out with just an outline of what we're going to talk about. We're going to go through each of the products and talk about kind of what the product is and why it's unique and special. Then I want to talk about benefits and features. And then I have some key ingredient callouts just on some of the ingredients that I think are really cool and different and kind of on the front edge of where the nutritional supplements industry is going. So I also talk about usage a little bit so people have an idea. Really the way you use the products, the dose should be more or less the same for most people, but the way you use them can be somewhat personalized, and so I want to address that as well. So let's go ahead and jump in. First, we're going to talk about Source. And I know that we did a pre-launch event with Source, but you can see here that this Source looks a little bit different than the one that we're used to. This is a new version of Source, and it's has a few updates since the pre-launch version that most of you are currently taking. First and foremost, you can see it has a different look and feel from the standpoint of the packaging. It's in our new beautiful custom bottle, and for those of you who haven't had a hands-on experience with these products so far, these are really beautiful bottles. The top of each lid has a custom debossed V logo. Incidentally, I don't know how many of you have noticed this, but if you turn the VIA V upside down, you get an A, and it's the same proportions and angles as our ASEA A. And in some of those patterns you can see on the bottle, if you take 6 of them, you can see that there's a hex. So we really tried to tie this in a graphic way into our existing brand, just the way the product functions and ties together with our ASEA Redox product. So we hope we created some harmony both from the visual standpoint and from the benefits that you will receive from taking these 2 lines of products together. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about Source. So some of this will be review for those of you that are already taking the pre-launch product. It hasn't changed much. VIA Source, I hate to say that it's a vitamin because it's so much more than that. It's a whole food and micronutrient complex. But what does that mean? It means a few things. It means it's food-based and it's a micronutrient supplement, not just a vitamin or a vitamin mineral product. That means it has things in addition to that. And it's formulated to provide optimal support for cellular health. It contains vitamins and minerals, yes, but also phytonutrients, organic superfoods. They're actually certified organic superfoods, some trace minerals, enzymes, and it features ASEA's proprietary BioVIA Source Complex, which delivers the necessary components to ensure maximum bioavailability of all of the nutrients that are found in this product. So let's talk a little bit about this. what makes VIA Source unique? Now, the next slide is going to have something that probably isn't very familiar to anyone unless they were at convention, the BioVIA Source Complex. And this is sort of when you refer to the product, when you look at the back of the label, when you're talking about it, the BioVIA Source Complex is really what makes it special and differentiates it from other products on the market. Each one of these new products that we're going to talk about has a BioVIA complex. And each one of these complexes contains what's most special about the product, what's most differentiated, what's most unique. We have been talking about the BioVIA complexes as alternately the secret sauce, the X factor. It's really what's different and interesting about these products. That's not to say that the other ingredients are not interesting. It's just that we try to coalesce the most interesting bits into these complexes, and they're built to be functional for the products. So in the case of the BioVIA Source Complex, this is the complex that helps to make sure that as you take these actual capsules into your body, that the nutrients inside of them make it into your bloodstream, make it into your body, and can actually make a difference for your overall health. And that may be different in Biome, it may be different in LifeMax. The purpose is different, right? You don't need an absorption complex for probiotics. There we want a balance complex. So each one of these complexes is different, but you'll know what to look for when you look for the ASEA BioVIA complex. So the BioVIA Source Complex, so that's the BioVIA complex, obviously that's in Source, is a proprietary blend of 6 enzymes to ensure maximum absorption of Source's nutrients. So these enzymes are specially built together in a special proportion to ensure that they are doing the maximum amount of labor to kind of make sure these nutrients get absorbed into the bloodstream. Source, in addition to the BioVIA Source Complex, Source contains nutrient-dense superfoods. So during the pre-launch period, we talked about this a little bit. A superfood is really any fruit or vegetable or plant that is densely populated with micronutrients, with phytonutrients. Some examples might be pomegranate or acai or mangosteen. Kale is a superfood. And so because we have such a small area, we have really what's in 2 capsules in the morning and 2 capsules in the evening. There's really not a lot of space in there. So for us, it was important, since we wanted to use whole foods, that we find the most densely full of nutrients. And so we used superfood extracts. We used only whole food form micronutrients. And that's important because nature doesn't deliver us vitamins or minerals in individual packages. We consume them in the form of mostly plants, fruits and vegetables, right? And they're called nutritional cofactors that we get, say from an apple. We don't just consume antioxidants from an apple. We're also getting some enzymes. We're also getting some fibers, and all of those work together in the body so that they're uptaken, and the byproduct of us processing them is neutralized properly and properly moved through our bodies in the way that's most beneficial for us. So it's important that we're not just getting like little, first of all, not synthetic, and second of all, nutrients in their whole food format. We've also included highly bioavailable sea vegetable minerals and a super cool bioactive vitamin B complex from a natural source. So let's keep talking. I know some of you are seeing some things that look a little bit different from your current source, and I'll address that in just a second. But before that, I wanted to walk through what the benefits of taking a product like Source might be. Now, many of you have had your own experiences. I got the opportunity to hear a lot of those positive experiences at convention. And I would just say to you, if you did have a great experience, share it with people. Because truly, you don't necessarily hear these kinds of stories from people that are taking, a vitamin mineral complex from their local, wholesale warehouse store. So benefits of Source: supports cellular health, general nutrition, and wellness throughout the body, aids in the assimilation of nutrients with the proprietary BioVIA Source Complex, and provides nutrient building blocks to work synergistically with ASEA redox. Now, I know there are a lot of devotees of our redox technology, and I actually think most people are here at the company because of our redox technology and our redox product. But there's more we can do once we have everything, once we have the body firing on all cylinders, so to speak. We still need to put the right fuel into it. So Source is providing the materials for the labor that ASEA Redox really provides in our bodies. And we wanted to leverage that, and we did that with many of the ingredients in these 3 products. So really good stuff here. I just wanted to call one story out that I have heard. I was speaking to one of you at convention, and the story that this person related to me was about one of his clients who was taking VIA Source. She was nutrient deficient in a particular nutrient, and it was interesting. He said that when she started taking the product, her nutrient deficiency went away. Well, that was interesting to me because there was only a tiny, tiny amount of that particular nutrient in VIA Source, which tells me that it wasn't necessarily the milligrams of the nutrient from Source that she was getting that were helping her. It was all the other things going on in her body from taking Source, for the, the cellular health that was going on, the assimilation of nutrients. If she was taking the product with food, that means the enzymes and the other properties of these nutrients were helping her to assimilate some of the nutrients that she was actually taking in anyway from her food. So really interesting things can happen when you get the body working in a healthy way. Let's talk for a second about features. Now, I put this slide up because these are the questions that we always get with these products. These are really, I think that they're important, but they're not the most important thing. But for me, when I'm choosing a product, these are, this is the base level. I can't really look at a product unless I checked all these boxes off. So I just wanted to I'm going to put this slide up there for each of the individual products, just so you don't have to email in and ask, is it vegan? Is it non-GMO? Incidentally, it's rare to find a vegan nutritional product. So that's a really cool thing about these. Gluten-free. We've been careful. Our capsules contain no SLS or SLES. Which, is a random fact that you probably don't know. We all avoid those things, sodium lauryl sulfate, in our shampoos, but they are commonly found in capsules that we take for nutritional products. So we've used only vegan capsules, and they have none of those things, SLS or SLES, in them. So really good stuff here. I won't spend a lot of time on that since we have a lot more stuff. So now I know many of you heard what I was saying previously about Source, and I just wanted to address some of the tiny changes that have happened with Source since the pre-launch version and the current version. And really they're very minor, and they were a result from feedback that we received from the field. The largest one that you're going to see is we've renamed the absorption complex. So we previously called it the BioAmplify absorption complex. We renamed it the BioVIA Source absorption complex. So really, this change is because we have 3 products now, and we didn't want people to have to remember ASEA VIA, the name Source, and then the individual, another separate name of whatever the special complex was. And so we just really wanted it to all be like BioVIA is really the special something. So they each have a BioVIA complex that's named for the name of the product. We did add 3 additional enzymes to the absorption complex. Our formulators were looking at it and felt like that would be additive, and we were excited about that, so we added those. Now, this is one that I've had quite a bit of feedback about. Those of you that have been taking Source know that it had a small amount of iron in it. And we were required by law to put a kind of scary iron warning on it. We had a lot of feedback from the field. Really, the amount of iron that was in the product was not enough for a therapeutic dose. So anyone who was looking for additional iron because they have a deficiency would still have to take another product. This wouldn't be enough. And that small amount that we were putting in there was causing us to have to put this giant warning on it. And then there is quite a bit of chatter right now about iron itself being in nutritional supplements. And so we just decided that the best course of action would be to remove it. So there is no longer iron in the product. Now, we also previously had a trace mineral blend that we got a lot of feedback on, some positive, some negative. And ultimately we found a better source for those trace minerals, and it was in another sea vegetable blend. So you'll remember that we have an algae that provides many of the minerals. It's actually a superfood. And we liked this story because it's another sea vegetable story. So these sea vegetables which contain highly bioactive and bioavailable trace minerals, was added to the certified organic food blend. So the difference on the label that you'll see is actually an addition of Irish moss, astaxanthin from microalgae. And then we removed the other trace mineral blend. So as far as nutrients, you don't really lose anything. It's just the source that changes. Now, this last bullet point I want to address before I get to the second to last. So in 2019, in 2017, the end of 2017, the Food and Drug Administration of the United States actually changed the law. DSHEA is the law which tells us how we're supposed to build a nutritional supplement facts panel on a label. So it's the law for labeling nutritional supplements. So they announced changes in 2017. They gave us a grace period for 2018, and everyone's required to comply with the new nomenclature law by the end of 2019. So we took the opportunity to go ahead and make the shift. So one of the reasons you don't see the minerals listed down in the what was the BioAmplify blend, you will see them now just up in the supplement facts panel, that hasn't changed. The amounts hasn't changed at all. We're just required to list it up in that top section. Other than that, when you look at the panel, you may think you're seeing a lot of changes. All of the other changes are not reflective of changes in the formula. They are only reflective of changes in the way we are required to list the supplement facts. So for example, previously you might have seen 5,000 milligrams of one nutrient, and now it's going to be listed as 3,000 IUs. Exact same amount. They're asking us to measure it using a different measuring tool, and that's the way it's listed. So don't stress out, just a few tiny changes, but you will see a difference. Okay, let's move on. Okay, sorry, let's see if I can move on. Before we go on to Biome, I just wanted to make one last comment about Source. You probably know this if you've been taking it, but Source contains 120 capsules, and the best way to take those is 2 in the morning and 2 in the evening with a meal. Always better to take micronutrients with food. It will help with any digestive upset. It helps with absorption. Just the best way to take those if you can remember. It's most important to take them all, 4 of them a day. If you are not someone who can be compliant in 2 doses, then take them all in the morning or all in the evening with food. It's better if you can split them up, but it's best of all to make sure you get all 4 of them in. Okay, so let's move on and talk about Biome. You can see Biome is in a slightly shorter bottle. Actually, LifeMax and Biome are in the same size of bottle, and they each contain 90 capsules.